Hello, how are you? Hi, my Black queens. I see that you are here. Hello, Together Women. Hi, Tomorrow Women. Hi there. How are you all doing? Hi, Anointed. Hi, Chosen. Hello. Oh my goodness. It is so wonderful to be in your presence today. Oh, with so much to speak on. Oh, well, hello, Blessed. Hi, Blessings. Oh my goodness. Hi, Shirley, goodness and mercy. Hi, tender love and care. Hello to, oh my gosh, all the Miss Do Betters. I'm loving that. Hello, power. Hi, strength. Hi, courage. Hello, encouragement. Hi, knowledge. Hi, wisdom. How are you? Hi, experience. Wow, sacrifice is here as well. As you all do know, Jesus is in the building. And I know you can feel him in that atmosphere. I am so glad that you have joined me today. And all of you who are listening and tuning in, I thank God for you. These messages that I am putting forth are very important messages that are being channeled through me to talk to you about them. Now, you all know that I am big on sobriety because I am a recovering addict. And I am the keeper of my sisters. I am the keeper of my sisters. Therefore, I shall keep my sisters out of harm's way. I shall treat my sisters well, awesome, great, and amazing. I shall give my sisters love. I shall share my experiences with my sisters. I shall not laugh at my sister's pain. I will embrace your pain and share mine. Hello, I see everyone is coming in today and filling it up. Hello, sobriety police. As I told you guys, we have had an addition to the sobriety police because they are here. The new recruits, as well as the ones who have always been here with me, sobrietizing and policing our sisters that have just came in. Our mission is to keep our sisters in a positive setting and have happy thoughts and to encourage them, shower them with love when someone or the enemy has used someone to discourage them. That's why we are the sobriety police. We will treat our sisters the way we want to be treated if we were still in their shoes. And being that we have graduated and we have left out of that lifestyle, out of darkness into better days because we relied on God to be our higher power. I like to tell everyone that's listening, if you have a sister out there, niece or mother, a cousin, a friend that has fell off from your friendship, please encourage them to tune in to PLM with Denise Jenkins. Let them know that there are women out here who are in sobriety. Let them know that their sobriety is waiting and it is possible. Okay? Hello, Power. I see you. I see you. I see you. I feel you too. Hi there. Well, I'm going to get on with the program. Okay, in this segment here, I'm telling people everywhere around the world to speak out and speak up against injustice and speak out for themselves. as well as their loved ones and friends and people, even people they don't know. You just don't know how important that is because it will save a life. It could save your life. It could save the lives of your loved ones. This message came to me in spirit. Um, the Lord sent this message to me through a beautiful woman whose name is Akia Purnell. And what happened with Akia was there was a jealous ex, and she has proof without evidence, guys. Okay? But when you look at her story, there is evidence. There is evidence. And her daughter, Samaya Gellerly, she was taken from her over a senseless act of jealousy, and it took a toll on me because for a minute, guys, I was afraid to speak out against what was happening to me. And when I saw Akia and how her life was changed, it spoke to me. Her story spoke to me. Samaya, her story spoke to me. Her death spoke to me. Because there are people out there who are so envious and jealous of you that they would want to cause harm to you, interrupt your peace and happiness because they are jealous of you, envious of your strength. I also got inspiration from Alicia Johnson, beautiful mother taken away from her children by a jealous ex, her husband that she was divorcing. I also got strength and courage from Daytara Johnson, 18 years old, snuffed out of her life by an insecure boyfriend. Kendrick Johnson, his story spoke out to me because of the way he was taken from his family and how things were covered up because of the opponent's father being in law. Karen Reed also spoke to me, her story, and Montani Davis' story spoke to me. I want you all to understand something in this world as a Black woman and to represent my Black queens is rising and to encourage my sisters in the storm to come in and to be a guide and light for our little sisters who are coming behind us in the next generation. It is because I really do love my Black women. I love my sisters so much until I had to start this podcast. I had to do it because as Black women, no matter what level of life we are living on, our lives are not really taken seriously when it comes to a crime being committed against us. All of these people who I just named informed the police about what was happening to them. Taylor Robinson, they informed them actions were not taken and they were left to be killed. So therefore, I tell you to please speak out, speak up for yourself, speak up for your loved ones, speak up for your friends and people that you don't know. Do not turn a blind eye to an injustice because one day that could be you. And Black women like myself who have had an addiction and a past of addiction, we are not looked at like we are serious about life, or we should not be so protected because of our past. And it's bad enough that already we are not protected fully, not even by some of our sisters out there who has never been on an addictive substance that caused them to make bad decisions. A lot of them think that they're better than us, and they are not. No one is exempt from trials and tribulation. And drugs does not have a preference when it comes to your status or what color you are. I stand for all of my queens of all races. I do. But when it comes to my sisters, my Black queens, I get a little deeper because I'm Black. And because of my past, some people want to overlook me and not take me serious. And because of the condition, my war wounds, my teeth, they think that it's funny to them. But to us, people like me, to my sisters who have been in that storm, and we come out with war wounds, and we're not ashamed to show them. We're not ashamed to tell our story, our testimony. We are some strong women. And when things are going on in our life, a lot of people don't take us serious. They judge us by our past. Just as our ancestors who were set free were judged because they were just not too long ago slaves, or have ancestors of slaves. We do too. We are a part of that. All of us are. And when I saw these sisters, I said, you know what? I'm going to tell my story of what I've been going through. I am not a jealous ex. I am not trying to cause any problems and turbulence in my son's father's life. But the woman that he has chosen is going ham at trying to disturb my life, trying to come up against me by pouring salt on me everywhere I go. And it's gotten a bit out of hand. Now, my first clue was when everywhere we went, we were followed by the police. My ex forgot that he mentioned to me that he was friends with a female police officer. The first clue came in when we lived together, and I found a mug shot that I knew I did not have that in that house. And it was the band, the band that they put on you when you go in and they put that picture on it. It was that. And someone's male by the name of Frank Jameson. I didn't say anything to my ex about what I found. I did not know where it had come from. I didn't. But after a while, when I started to be harassed, and when I started to call the police for protection and they brushed me off, it let me know that this person is either the police or they are related to the police. And as I went on with my life, I decided I need to leave out this toxic relationship. And the day of me parting from that residence, my ex did call the police. The male police was telling me to wait till the storm was over and he would escort me to the 37th Street Exchange. The female police was trying to tell me to stay in a toxic relationship that mentally disturbed me, disturbed my emotions, and it affected me physically. But I had the strength to ask my Heavenly Father to make a way for me to get up out of here. I don't know what's going on. I was always being picked at, and I did not know why. I did not know that my son's father was in another relationship. When I put the two and two together about the Jamesons and the Jameson letter of Frank Jameson, it was like a bill or something that she left in there. I went to school with a young lady that had that name Jameson, and her mother was an evangelist at that time. I don't know if she still is, but I was at a baby store and she came in there. We made eye contact. We talked. Then I started to remember her from being in the ninth grade at Tompkins High School, being the last of the Wolverines is what we were. When we left out of the baby store, we encountered her mother holding a little girl. Beautiful. After I walked off, I saw a black Challenger parked right beside a black Challenger that I have seen before with a very bright skinned woman in the driver's seat. I later found out that this woman was half Hawaiian and the little girl is his. So he had this child while we were together with another woman. But he couldn't cut ties with me fast enough for this woman. So she started to make her presence known. And when I would be home, I would hear footsteps, doors closing out the back door. At the time, his father was alive, and he would say things like, "What was all that noise last night coming through the back door?" I didn't catch on right away. The guy revealed it to me. This woman in this black Challenger is half Hawaiian. And in law enforcement, she has relatives. Influence over people. As I went on to go through all of these pains, and my Lord was hiding all of these things from me because I was not mature enough to handle what was happening to me. When I left him, he acted as if he needed me back. Because by leaving him, that was too much like right. So he had to come and get me back with him. And when I did come back, the police started to come and play, being called on me all the time. His mother changing on me. I didn't know what was going on. And then I started to see things clearly. So I'm coming out of my house And there's a short, dark-skinned woman in a purple nurse's uniform. And then a gray SUV comes and pick her up. That wasn't the beginning, and it was not going to end quickly either. So everything that has been happening in my life, my son's father knows about this. I started to be getting bothered at grocery stores, supermarkets, corner stores, doctor's appointments, all of these things. I called internal affairs to report this woman. When they asked me what her name was and what she looked like, I did not have a description because it was so many coming at me from all different angles. There were times when I would just be out and about and I would get harassed. They put a woman in my life thinking that I would do drugs with this woman and backslide. There were so many things that was going on and I didn't understand. I wasn't fearful of my life at that time. But as things progressed, I started to see things. When we would go for walks, there goes the police. When we would go to the lake, there goes the police. I didn't know what was happening. I'm telling you guys, report things, talk and speak on it. Because some women are so, as they would say, vicious at destroying you until they will influence other people against you. I encountered a dark-skinned female with a mole up under her nose. We got into a confrontation type argument. And being angry, I was trying to pull her out of the car by her hair because she had come around us and she was being very bold and I didn't know what was happening. But then I started to realize this man has gotten me caught up like on some kind of TV show, caught up in things that people talk about on talk show. Lots of different encounters with lots of different females. Lots of them. When I started to understand that she had influence, is when I just started to fall back. But the more I fell back, the more I tried to be the bigger woman. There she was trying to get me to come after her. God has already taken that from me before I get in trouble, before I get hurt, before I hurt somebody. So everywhere I went, someone that they know was coming after me. This woman in that black Challenger, I saw another cops, lots of them, short, light-skinned lady in a blue sedan, had a bandana around her head. She's the police. A dark-skinned police, a female, all the time. She's the police. So I thought if anything happened to me, then my son's father will definitely know what's happening. I told my people that I could trust. I trusted them with the information I was given. They understood, and so they just watched. They watched when I couldn't see. The young lady kept on. Once I was walking down the street and a police passed by and called me a whore. She did this twice. The third time she called me a name, but every time she would do these things, she would be passing by really fast. One day, me and my son's father, we had not a confrontation. I was speaking with him, and he took it out of context, is what I thought. But what I started to see is that he was trying to paint a picture of me being a bad, aggravating baby mama, and that's not the truth. When I found out all the people who knew about what I was going through and they didn't tell me, it hurt, but it helped in the end. So I tell my story today because a lot of people have not spoke on what was happening to them and they ended up either dead, in prison, or hurt really bad. As time went on, it just became so much. When I called the police didn't help me. I asked the police one day, a white officer, I said to him, "Sir, I am being stalked and followed around and harassed." And this officer said to me in a funny, laughing kind of way, "Who has the time to follow you around and stalk you?" Wow. I thought it was that he was racist, but I soon found out that they were involved. It hurt to know that someone I once loved knew people was trying to hurt me, and that if they hurt me, that it's going to hurt our child. But it seemed like he did not care. I started to notice that when I would get up out of my bed, that's when all the harassment would start. And I figured, look, they have to have some kind of a bugs in my house, hidden cameras, motion detectors. I started to be very careful because when I would go places, people would repeat what I said. They would say little sly, little slick things to make me think that something was wrong with me. So if you're experiencing things where someone is saying things that only you said in your house and you know you were only one in there, someone has bugs in your house, someone has hidden cameras in your house, motion detector. One day when I was home with my family, he came there and I saw the camera on his body. It was like a body cam that a police officer would wear. I was being harassed by the police. I wasn't being looked at like I mattered or I was important. When I went to the hospital, the nurses there would treat me like a secondhand citizen, take their time when I was in pain here down here at Memorial Hospital. Love. I could not understand, but I did start to see things clear. When I would call the police at my address, they came. And then after a while, they started to go around the corner from my house. And when they would come back, they would have a certain demeanor about them, a demeanor in them that I had saw in others, that God had revealed these things to me. I started to be harassed all the time, early in the morning, late at night, all through the day. And I said, I'm going to call the police. And I did. But the police wasn't there to protect me. They had already had a backstory on me that was based on lies, mainly. So when I saw the cop and I saw that she was one of them were a dark skinned woman, I put two and two together because when we were at Toys R Us, she came in and I looked at her. When I wasn't looking at her, she was just standing there looking and gazing at him. And he was gazing at her. And we were there at Toys R Us getting baby food when she and I made eye contact. Then she started to back up and walk out. But I saw her several times after that. I saw her in a uniform. I saw her. And I felt unsafe. I really did. And when I saw my sisters on YouTube and she telling her story, Akia Purnell, and that she's being harassed by the ex. And so I'm thinking to myself, am I the only female that is being harassed by the new person that's in his life? Every time I would ask about the kid, he would deny it. I had Black people and white people, and I still do, coming at me, trying to come for me, trying to get me to act out of character. So on this side of town, where I live, I have called the police. But like I tell you, she has influence. So much influence. She had influence over Christy Smith, who came into my home and she pretended that she was really doing her job as far as filling out my paperwork so that I could move the next year. When the next year came, Christy Smith did not turn in my paperwork. She made a comment to me that if her director knew that it was me getting this place, that she would not have given it to me. When I confronted her supervisor, her director, she said she didn't do it. She didn't say that. But her demeanor said yes. Miss Joanna Taylor, yes. And I said to her, well, if you can get Christy to get in contact with her, I would tell you this right in front of her. That never happened. So I ended up staying here another year. And that was not what I had expected. You see, we have principalities in high places because of people gossip and talking about us. And since I have a past of addiction, I am looked down on. Yes, I am. So I gathered my strength up and I decided I'm going to speak on this because that's what they tell us to do. Speak on the injustice. If they're happening to you, your loved ones, your friends, and people that you even don't even know, you need to speak on it. They tell little kids, if you see somebody bullying someone, tell. Speak up for them. Speak up for yourself before things get out of hand. And every day I have been being harassed. She'd come on this street. She'll be at someone's house, watching my house, watching these men belittle me and talk about me and yell out venomous names towards me. And because I wouldn't come for her, things got worse. She went to thinking that she could do what she can do to me. But remember, I told you guys about the story about the man at the top and the man at the bottom, and the man at the top always throwing rocks. And the only thing the man at the bottom was doing, he was just stacking those rocks. Because one day he threw those rocks back at this man. And since his house was made out of glass, when the stones hit his house, they shattered it. You see, people that throw stones at us and people who are jealous of us and who can't step up to us, guess what? They throw stones, hide their hand, get other people to do their dirty work for them. And being in law enforcement, hey, I expect that from someone like that. I've been tailed by a little sheriff. She real short, drive a burgundy car, work for the sheriff department. So this is why I had to call IA. Short brown skin, drive a burgundy sedan, work at the sheriff department. Has a lot to do with what's going on. I was being harassed for nothing. Being harassed because I stepped away from a toxic relationship. Being harassed by the new woman. That is so backwards because I remember a time when it would be the ex bothering the new girlfriend, as it is in Miss Akia Purnell's case. There's a restaurant right at the corner of 52nd and Hopkins. Those people there are well aware of what's happened. Yes, they are. Every manager that who's I've ever gone into the stores, especially at Walmart, will allow her cashiers to disrespect me, would allow those people in the stores to disrespect me. When I would go to Rainbows, there they go, young girl, watching to see what I'm buying. At the hair store, watching. It's not fair to go through something like that. It is not. How people could take in your name and discredit it, try to make you look like you are some sort of a monster. It is not you. I didn't have a voice at first. Then I got a voice because God gave it to me, because I was humble. I was understanding. I knew better than to try to fight a battle where someone wants me to come after them. That's a setup. And it needs to be addressed. And people around here turn a blind eye to what these people are doing to me. They're turning a blind eye because they know this young lady. It is not fair not to speak on it. If it's happening to you or someone you love, someone that you grew up with, even people you do not know, speak up. God has revealed to you who they really are. Even at church, when I went to church, her influence was in there too. And when I started to see other women talking about experiences that was so familiar to me and what I was going through, I still didn't speak out. I still did not. But now I am. And I know if anything happens to me and mine, he will know about it. I know he'll know. And I would like to have law enforcement from somewhere else to investigate any kind of hurt or crime that come against me because of the police using and abusing their authority against me. It's bad enough that I am a Black woman in the inner city and a police officer is using that badge for bad things, for bad power, not good power. It is not fair. So, lady, if there's an injustice happening to you, please speak on it. Speak on it. There are people in my family, my cousin Angela, my cousin Yana, my cousin Tanya, my cousin Isha. All of them know this person. Every one of them. And I'm here to tell my story. I'm here to make awareness if anything go down with me. Please have the authorities from someplace else to help because there are too many on the force that are influenced by this woman. And that is not fair. I stand up for me. I stand up for my sisters. No Black woman is exempt from discrimination. And being that our Black lives matter to just a few of us, I need to be speaking to the ones who feel like their Black lives are mattering in this world. The police have a law to protect them, called Marcy's Law. And it is dedicated to protect polices who do inappropriate acts towards us, violent acts towards us, harassing us, but they can be protected if we don't handle it right. So I don't give them a reason. And there have been so many people who have died. So many people, so many Black women, so many Blacks, period, so many women who have a colorful past of drug addiction. There have been laws to protect us. And there have been laws honoring people's names who has not been protected the right way by the police. And the first one on my list is the Amber Alert. Megan Canca Alert. That's a law because Megan was brutally raped and killed by a sex offender who information was not disclosed properly. So we live around pedophiles and rapists and sex offenders and we don't know it. That's why it's always great Check your computer, go online and find out who in your neighborhood, who these guys are. She would have people around my house all night long calling me out my name. And where's the police? They know these guys. I called the police. I called the mayor. I called IA. I called to try to get someone to come and sweep my house for cameras. Because even my son's father would say things I said in this house alone. That's not fair to us. Besides the Amber Alert and the Megan Handcuff Alert, there is the Lynn Bias Alert. That's a law to protect people so that, if they die from a drug overdose, that the person responsible could be sued and did jail time. Kelly's Law. Because not enough information at one time was being given to the police to look for our children. So they're stricter now on the responses and the requirements and the information. And they gotta look. The Emmett Till anti-lynching law that was formed because of how he was brutally killed, taken out of his relative's home and killed. And his mother did not conceal what they had done to her 14-year-old son. As Black women, we got to stand up and speak out against these crazy women who harass us, who are in law enforcement, who are nurses that got brothers and sisters in law enforcement. I would have never knew these things if she hadn't got so messy, dropping evidence. And I've been calling the police. I have. And I will continue to do my podcast because I'm not going backwards. I will not be stopped because a woman is being insecure with her feelings. His friends, Hamilton, Hassan, all of these people. I'm sitting in the hospital and there's a police officer from Richmond Hill, dark skinned lady. I'm tired of being harassed. I am tired of people trying my patience, testing my womanhood. All of that is not going to knock me off track. It's not going to stop me because what they expected of me was to fall short and fall backwards and fall down. But every setup was a step up for me. Every experience I have had dealing with these people here in Savannah, Georgia, has increased my level of living and thinking, has started to make me move with purpose and understanding of people's ignorance, how people abuse their authority, how people will shun you because of something somebody said about you, not knowing you. Do you know how easy it is for someone to be suckered into something? Because if someone says, oh, this person is a nice person, you should listen to this person, and they do it. Then they say, this person is no good, let me tell you this all about them. And they hate on you because someone else is. Through the experiences I have had through the hypocrisy, it has made me grow and not want to be that way. Even today, I was talking to a woman I thought was professional. And she began to laugh on the most important things that I was telling her about the conditions of the house I live in. She started laughing with a colleague. Her colleague is in the background laughing at what I'm going through because they know the person. When Christy Smith came here and told me that this light-skinned woman with curly hair was her replacement, come on, and nothing was done. Speak out and speak up on every time, every event, everything you went through. Speak on it. Even when we went to Atlanta, Georgia for Easter, being that he doesn't think like a man when it comes to these type of situations, she was there. And they were trying to get me arrested there. Then trying to take my kid from me. Now they're trying to get me hurt. It's not fair for me to sit here and not tell you guys what to expect or my experience, not sharing what I have been through and going through with you. So before it's too late, oh my God, before it's too late, speak on it. Speak on it. God has shown you their truth. And he has shown you these things for a reason. So speak on it. Let's live for our brothers and sisters out there who have been done wrong, who have not been protected because it was Black. I love you all. I love you for real. This has been Denise Jenkins with another edition of PLM, People Like Me. I am my sister's keeper. Therefore, I shall keep my sisters out of harm's way. Speak up and speak out. This is part one. I will be back with part two. Please like, subscribe, share. Give me your comments to Our Father's podcast. Have a good one.